Hello. Is it working? Oh, thank God. It looks like it's working. I hate you. Stupid software. There we go. Right. 15 minutes later. Well, actually 20, because I had to fight it for... Right. Okay. Here we go. We have a stream. Sorry about that. Alright, let me just configure a few things. Get things ready. Whoop indeed. After the faff this has been. Yeah, my tech is terrible. I know. Might just be buggy. I don't know. Hang on, where's the... There we go. Right, that should be everything. Lights, camera, action. Right. Can I get a sound check, please? Can I get a sound check, please? Do 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 do. I'm just gonna... Evening, Kieran. Dubbed in Czech? That shouldn't be. That should not be the case. Why would that be the case? Sound is fine. James is here. Nice. While I've got you, James, before the chat scrolls past you, I will just mod you so I know you're always there. Exams are going okay. Haven't got my results yet. Oh, I should also do... No, that's the wrong person. Should also do Luke while I'm here. Yeah, I'm just making my friends the mods, just so I can keep track of them as much as anything else. Okay, fine. Hey, I fixed it now, Luke. It's just that you didn't pop it in the chat yet. And now you did, so now I've modded you. Are you happy now? Okay, I'm 15 minutes late because my tech software is a bloody Egypt, but we're here. We're here, we're live, we're at it. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Michael for Tactic Imperialis, and welcome to the stream. Don't abuse that power, James, or I will take it off you. You've been warned. Bonsoir la France. Someone's here from France. Cool. Seen the Mortarion trailer? Yep, I have. I saw that, which is cool. Yeah, by the people that I say my friends that I mod, it's the people in my people from home, my Warhammer chat from home, my friends who I play Battle Report with. That's where I've made the mods, plus Alexis. I will never mod a physics friend. Rhinos are 70 points. Is that so? I haven't seen. Also, that I wouldn't be complaining about points costs because, well, there's no point. Remember the theory you made about Farsight possibly returning to the Tau Empire? Yeah, I did. I made a video about it. Why? I was reading what you were writing earlier about maybe you spoke to Phil Kelly or something, so please, fill me in. Chaos Rhino, 70 points. Well, we don't know what everything else costs. We can't really talk about it. So what topics do we have for tonight? Well, Warhammerfest just happened. Heresy Book 8, the release of Magnus the Red. The stuff that's happened for 8th edition. We've got some new lore on the Primaris Marines. We got that today. We've got a fair bit to talk about. Will I get Remlays on the stream? My software, my computer just won't be able to hack it, so it's safer for me to not have people on stream with me, unless they're actually in the room with me, because otherwise, too much risk. Oh, there's a full Chaos Rules leak. I haven't seen it. I'm not looking at leaks. Official stuff I'm looking at, leaks I'm not. Predator 11 wounds, yeah, I think I saw that as well. The Space Marine faction focus. Is everything healthy? Yep. Good, good, good. And it's not burning out. And I need to tweet out that we are live. Right. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Let me just tweet this out. If someone's in Alexis' Discord, could you do that? Please. Thank you. You can be closed now. There we go. Space Marines leaked to... Oh, did they? Hello from France with bad Wi-Fi. Oh, my tech is... if bad Wi-Fi is not my concern. I asked for Kelly about it, and though he didn't say anything explicit, he did say there were some big changes coming to the Tau in 8th edition, lore changes mainly. Well, we've just potentially got Chaos Tau from the 4th sphere, and the 5th sphere is a thing, so that's not really a surprise. Dawn wasn't announced as next. They said they're working on it. Didn't say he was next. Have Imperial Knights had a name change? Questor Imperialis, I believe. Or I think Questor Traitoris is a thing. Questor Imperialis, I'm not sure. Guessing some psychic bits. Well, we could get psychic tab. We'll see. I would have some music. I went looking for music, but I couldn't find any that wasn't copyrighted. So unfortunately, there will be no music unless I get unless there's a piece of music I might play, but I don't know if I'll get copyrighted for it because I technically have the reason to use it. Do I think Dawn will return for 40k like Gilliman? Eventually, yes. If he's alive anyway, yes. Oh yes, what? No, I won't. Person. No, I won't. Not a chance. Deary me. Nice. I know there are royalty-free music websites. It's just like sometimes I don't really want to go experimenting right now to find a piece that I'm like a full 90-minute playlist. I'd rather do it on my own time if I get lucky. Yeah, no Sinatra this time, I'm afraid. Primaris Intercessor 24 points each. Okay, so that in context means that you get 3 Marines for a Rhino, which is pretty much how it used to be. Or 3 Primaris for a Rhino-ish. Okay. Also, some sort of reference to a more inclusive nature, both lore and rules-wise, which obviously means stuff like human auxiliaries that gave Asa. Maybe. I wouldn't ever say obvious. It crashed. I know. I know. It had a very bad crash. It completely crashed. Are we back? Please tell me we're back. Yeah, back. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. We just had a complete hard crash. We had a complete hard crash. Sorry about that. Yeah, we've got people from all over the place here tonight, which is nice. It's good to have a nice variety. No, I haven't had a chance to look at AOS Skirmish. We'll eventually get a chance though. Love the streams, thank you. And yeah, we had a rip. We had a big rip. What do the town need to compete with Magnus and Gilliman as their rules are now? Well, even when Magnus and Gilliman were around, I don't think that... well, I don't know. I'm not good enough. Yeah, you might just need to refresh if there's any issues. Who do you want to come back to 40k next? If you're talking Primarchs, well, once we've got more time, we'll get a Loyalist, which will probably be Lion. As for who I want, not sure. I get what you mean. I was thinking along the lines of Tau including other races, which going off prior events likely refers to auxiliaries. Yeah, like, if it means we get more auxiliaries, that would be nice, yeah. Do I play any instruments? Yeah, I play the trombone. I used to play the cornet, which is like a short trumpet, but I think... the reason I got taken off of it is because the shape of my mouth was too big, and I don't think I'd be able to play it anymore. I play the trombone, though. Evening. Marines dropping from orbit seems like mobile infantry from Starship Troopers. I don't know. I mean, dropping from orbit... Does it say they're dropping from orbit? Did it canonically say that? News on the new race, that's the Primaris, basically. I don't know if we have got any new races coming. Ross would be epic. Magnus fan, but... Bear in mind, Magnus fan, so. Glad you enjoyed the Deathcore video. I admit it was a little bit shorter than I was intending, but I was trying to build a backlog and maybe I didn't get enough time to go into as much detail as I would have enjoyed. Are we going to get a trombone solo at the end of the stream? No, because my trombone's in Yorkshire and I'm in Manchester. And also it would annoy the hell out of everybody because it'd be like 10 o'clock at night by that point. It would drive everybody nuts. Russ did nothing wrong. Technically. Not answering that. In their rule it says they come from orbit like a drop pod, but no drop pod. I'd need to read it for myself to confirm. I mean, low orbit, like, once they're through the atmosphere, I can see it working. And I mean, Space Marines can survive in the void, so it's not impossible. Is Mortarion coming back? Absolutely. We've got a trailer for him, and yeah, maybe all the reason to do it. Well, I don't have it with me. I couldn't even if I wanted to. The webcam's not the problem. It's basically the fact that I don't want my PC to overcook. If we get another... Oh. yeah, I don't think I'd be able to change it now. I know it's in terrible quality. It's just to make sure my PC doesn't overheat or anything like that. I could probably put it up to 360. If we get another crash and I have to reset it, I'll put it up to 360 and see if that works. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's see if I can do it. Let's see if we can do it. Can I move it up to 360p now and see if that helps? It's still terrible quality, I know, but hopefully, I don't know if that's actually done anything. I don't know if I can change my output settings manually or midstream, but we'll see. Since there were human expeditionary forces sent beyond the known regions of space, do you think it's possible for a human empire beyond the known universe? Beyond the known galaxy, different question. Universe is infinite, the galaxy isn't. In another galaxy, humanity? Maybe. Got all the important details. If someone wants to read deeper, suggest Lexicanum or Dead Men Walking. I mean, I use Lexicon as most of my reference, so, but yes, true. Also, do you think... How are you getting the 8th... If you're getting the 8th rulebook, you're going to wait for everybody else, because if you're getting it early, then that's just wrong. Top 3 40k books, there are way too many for me to ever work that out. Angel in Carmine, yeah, well, they might change the rules on Deep Strike, though. Like, my Farsight bomb might need to be tweaked, just for stuff. Why do you like Conrad Kurz? I think Conrad Kurz is one of those Marmite sort of characters. Like, I really like the Lightning Claw aesthetic, and it's a bit weird, but the Batman in space thing kind of works for me too. And, well, I did a video on my favourite Primarchs, so go look at that. Kurz was on that list, and that explained it pretty well there, I think. Hey, 40k Andromeda, or Mass Effect Andromeda is pretty good, why not? Well, I personally don't, well, I haven't played it, but the story looks, well, the characters look good in Mass Effect Andromeda anyway, and the environments look really good. Looks like points are going to be much less rounded, like, yeah, I think less rounded is a thing. For some reason you couldn't play Thousand Suns, what Legion would you play for 30k? Ooh, probably Salamanders, because their lore's awesome. No, I've not seen Remlaze's face. I've started reading the Horus Heresy books. Do you have any other recommendations? Depends on what you want to read about. Like if you wanted to read about Space Marines, then read the Space Marines Battles series. If you want to read about Guard, then you've got the Kane series, the Gaunt series. Shadow Sword's decent. If you want to read about Chaos, the Armament series is pretty good. And you've also got like Siege of Castellax, which is pretty good. For Space Marines, Space Marine Battles novels, you can't really go wrong. Rin's World, Purge of Cadillus, Death of Antagonist, Plagues of Arath, there's some really good ones there. Lorgar better because I personally really dislike Lorgar. I've also explained it another time. I don't have a next gen console actually, so I'm not going to be playing Andromeda now. And I'm certainly not going to be doing a Let's Play because I don't have a capture card or anything like that. Plus, it's not really this channel's sort of thing, and I'd be terrible at it. Plus, I need to buy a PS4 or an Xbox. Might build a 30k Blood Angel army. Go for it. Deep Strike is basically spawn 9 inches away. Yeah, Deep Strike is now the AOS system. I'm not 100% about it. It's got its upsides, it's got its downsides. Also, I came prepared this evening. I have a physics exam? Oh, I can help. Go for it. Hit me with your physics. I've got an exam on Wednesday. Go for it. Shoot. Give me physics. But yeah, I've come prepared this evening because of, I always need to go and make a break for get snacks or something. Well, I came prepared. I brought prawn crackers. I bought a bag of M&S prawn crackers while I was up at the Arndale Centre yesterday, and I was like, screw this, I've got snacks now when I want. No, I'm not asking for money to get a bloody console. I wouldn't play it. I don't have time. I'm too busy. Oh, you got properties of matter. Oh, properties of matter. I've got solid state, which is quantum properties of matter. Screw you. Explain terminal velocity. Okay, terminal velocity basically is the maximum velocity that an object can reach. It's basically when, if something's falling, it's when the air resistance matches up to its downward force from gravity. When all those forces balance, it stops accelerating. When it's accelerating to 0, it's at maximum velocity, and that's terminal velocity. The video game videos that went up, I took down. There was only one of them, and I took it down. I can't remember all the finite details, but that's the short answer. It's balance forces between the air resistance and gravity, and any other acting forces. When all the forces are balanced, the acceleration is 0, therefore terminal velocity. Will the Imperial Guard be used by every race like mercenaries? Don't know. Do you believe the Alpha Legion are loyalist? Some of them might be, but not all of them, definitely not. I'm not going to talk about other channels, it's not my place. What they do is what they do, and that's the end of it. Their content is their content, my content is mine. Who will be the first huge character to die? Abaddon's alive, by the way. No idea. No idea. Do we know the cost of the new Starbox? I believe it's going to be like 95 UK. The main dudes. Well, I'm doing the Alpha Legion lore video soon, so we'll see if anything comes up. The questions about speed completely and utterly flip me over. Who's your favourite Inquisitor? Who's the one I remember? Kotiaz. I like Kotiaz. Kotiaz is quite cool. Who do you think the next Triumvirate will be? Probably something for Chaos. If they do another Triumvirate, probably for Chaos. Would I support Plastic Armageddon and Steel Legion? Yes. I want you two to escape school life, not going to let... Somebody asked, alright? Bear in mind, this is basically the whims of the chat half the time. Did Alfaris get hacked up by Dawn? Well, yes. Alfaris is pretty much dead, and Omegon might be dead too. We're not sure. No, not you. For the simple reason of you were a pain in the backside to get away from, and just now it's just funny. You don't need to apologise for it. It's just a case of, if someone asks a question and physics is right up my alley, it's kind of, I'm going to answer it. How much in the friend zone is the Vizarch? He gave up being an Exarch and brought loads of Eldar tradition. Well, his choice, but now he's a servant of Inaid. Deal with it. I might put down 300 for 2 new Dreadnoughts, the new box set, and the rulebook. Yeah, fair enough. Good luck. Alfaris is dead, confirmed by John French in a recent interview. Oh, fair enough. So if Alfaris is dead, that's fine. What if Omicron was Gilliman? No. Best Primarch model other than Magnus? Other than his face, I like Fulgrim's pose. I just don't like his face particularly much. What else did we do? Kurz's model's good. I quite like Horus's. Vulcan should still be a perpetual, yes. I don't believe there's any evidence of otherwise. Do you think if a person was to make some brims around the Helm of Arca and Steel Legion, they make good World War I British Army in space? Sure. How late are you? You're about 15 minutes late, because I was late starting. Don't think Alfaris is dead because it's the Alpha Legion because of that blood thing. Well, I think there was a reference, I think when Alfaris died in Praetorian of Terror, that it referenced that Omegon felt it. Because some sort of connection between the two. Which Legion I'm most worried about facing with Thousand Suns? Anything that's tough enough to survive the psychic nonsense. So Death Guard are going to be or your Death Guard are going to be annoying, Kieran. Fast-paced armies are probably going to be a problem because I won't be able to stay away from them long enough. I don't know, honestly. What do you think about Heresy being left in 7th? I think it's for the best because it means that people get a chance to experiment. I found a store that sells tower weaponry perfect for Gave A said. The spelling's correct, there's an apostrophe between the E and the V. And up to you, sure, cool. Can Manus return or maybe one of his clones? Manus himself? No, he's dead. As far as the clones go, I don't know. I don't believe Fabius is still creating them, I'm not sure. What's worse, Dreadnought life or a Slanashy Demon? Death is always worse. What Zoran said about a guard regiment of knights, imagine the Inquisition Crusaders en masse. Yeah, that'd be cool. What do I think about the new Land Raider thingy? I've seen it in very minor detail. It looks all right. It's nothing to write home about, if I'm honest. Max Power's Emperor's Children versus Max Power's Salamanders. In pre-Heresy mode. On numbers, I think the Salamanders carry it. And in a fight, Vulcan is just too tough for Fulgrim to ever kill. So, actually, no, Vulcan can never lose. Because they could kill everybody, but he'll just keep getting up, and eventually he'll win. Can you please share some ideas about the Lost Legions? We don't talk about them. We know nothing of them. Then GW themselves have been told not to talk about it. So, sorry. Have I seen the new Dreadnought? Yes, it's not too bad. It reminds me of an Ironclad, but it doesn't look too bad to me. Just read 1,000 Suns seriously OP'd as part of the disadvantages. Yeah, the 1,000 Suns, without the Sisters of Silence, Prospero would never have fallen. The worst looking Dreadnought, I'm not a huge fan of the ironclad, but then again, it looks cool enough. So I haven't really got a problem with any of the Dreadnought models, really. How do you pronounce Gevesa correctly? I pronounce it Gevesa. I could be wrong. Some people say Gue, use Gue as you've done, or Guevesa or whatever. I personally go with Gevesa because it flows a little easier for me. Not fussed on the progress, that's fair enough. I'm bits and bobs on them, like they're alright, but I want to know more about them. Have I got any models on the go? I've got 2 Marines, or 1 Marine and a Terminator that I'm going to get painted up before I go home. I'm going to see how many Marines I can get through before I go home. At the minute I'm doing exams. Exams end on the 7th, I'm going home on the 12th. And in that period I want to get videos made and I want to get models done. And then when I get home, there's going to be a Magnus model waiting for me. Even if a clone of Ferrosign survive with the Iron Hands, if you accept it, no, they wouldn't. Have they shown any hints about a possible other new tendril of NID attacking the galaxy, or will they grind it out with the other ones? We'll find out. No, you're fine. You don't need to apologise or anything. It's just personal taste. Everyone has different taste on how to pronounce things. Like, I pronounce Gilliman one way. I pronounce Robert Gilliman. Some people say it's Rabute Gilliman. Some people say Robert Gwilliman. Everyone's got different opinions. It's fine. Do you think the Primaris plasma weapons look a bit Towish? No. No, they don't. Have you seen a Tau plasma rifle? It looks nothing like it. Oh, your last exam's tomorrow, Luke. You slimy git. What do you think of the Battle of the Fang? I'm not sure how the Wolves won. But hey. Do the Iron Hands pre-order the Primaris because the No. The project is under Gilliman's purview. The Ultramarines are going to get stocked first, and then it's going to go to everybody else. You're in France at the moment for additional lessons in French. Ah, cool. That's where basically I'm going to be. Did any Sons of Horus survive and stay loyal? Loken. Loken was never confirmed dead. And I don't believe the Acton Cruz was. No, Cruz was. Loken was never confirmed dead. So, Loken. I'm going to play the Crimson Fists in 8th. Can we do a lore video? I might get to the Crimson Fists. I'm doing the Imperial Fists as part of the Legion series. If I get a chance to cover the Crimson Fist eventually, I'll get around to it maybe. Put it in the content suggestion box on our Facebook page. Of all the current technology in the works, which one is most likely to take us to another solar system? Here's the problem. In order to get to another solar system, you need to be going very, 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 very fast. So we need cryogenics or faster than light. One of the two, and neither of those is plausible right now. But faster than light is impossible, so it would have to be cryogenics. Games Workshop needs a pronunciation book. Oh hell yeah. Wolf plot armor is impenetrable. Oh yeah. Acton Cruz did die. I thought he did. The ones on the battle suits, I don't know if they're plasma, but the circle ones. Yeah, they're plasma. The circular rifles are plasma. Yeah. Loken is alive. Is he one of the founding Grey Knights? Because no, he wasn't a Psyker. Severian, we believe, was a founder of the Grey Knights because he was psychic, but not Loken, I don't think. I'm going to be studying Grenoble next year. How have things changed in Planet Lipad is Fan 5? No idea. What happened to Eidolon? Assumedly just still commanding the Emperor's Children these days, somehow. Did you see the thing about creating warp bubbles? No. Digital camo colour scheme Tau. Sounds cool. Give it a go. Yeah, I did see the make your own chapter colouring page. It's on the lore page for their Primaris Marines. Yeah, they haven't shown Loken's fate at all. It's completely up for speculation. Some say he became a Grey Knight. I personally believe he became more like Inquisition-based than Grey Knight, because he wasn't a Psyker. How can you turn a Space Marine into a Thunder Warrior looking model? You change the head. Primarily change the head and change the gun. Faster than light. How is it possible to move faster than light if it's... Bear in mind, Star Trek is science fiction. It's not science fact. You cannot travel faster than the speed of light because that breaks the causality argument, which then defines time travel. So I believe FTL is impossible. Actually, the reason FTL is impossible is because everything has mass. You can't move faster than light. It cannot be done unless you can literally fold space-time to sort of jump across a gap that you should be going all the way around. And you're only able to do that at normal speed to give you the idea of going faster than light, not actually going faster than light. Are there any Thunderwolves left? Probably. How will they go about Perturabo Demon? There is no artwork for him. Hopefully, we think like some sort of giant obliterator. Oh, Thunder Warriors. No, the Thunder Warriors, I believe, are extinct at this point. I think he means dimensional travel, popping into dimension separate of your time. If you believe in interdimensional travel, then sure. But FTL is nonsense. Given what we've seen, do you now think Primaris will eventually replace the current range? I'm hoping the answer to that question is no. I can't prove it, but I'm hoping no. Instead of moving through the universe, move the universe. Right? Really? The more you learn, the less you know, especially with physics. That's true. The more we explore, the more things we need to understand. So it's always a case of advancing our own knowledge opens up more questions sometimes than it answers. That's true. Have you played against Wolves? Oh yeah, I have. Oh yeah. And eventually, when Russ gets 40k rules, we're going to settle Prospero because Ben refuses to buy 30k Russ. The last Thunder Warrior was, I think, that guy. I wouldn't know. Personally, a giant obliterator would be silly, especially if it's really fleshy. Doesn't feel right, in my opinion. I personally am. I think it would look quite good because Perturabo was always sort of like slow, lots of guns, massive armor. I could see that becoming corrupted and fused with warp power and becoming an obliterator type thing. Not literally guns like mutating out of his hand, but something of that ilk. Just a massive flesh metal juggernaut. Will I even be able to play my Demonkin in 8th? Absolutely. You'll be able to play just about everything. How exactly do the Tyranids traverse the space between galaxies? From what I've seen, the higher ships are some of the slowest ships in 40. They basically hibernated until the Pharos went off and they found a signal to track, I think. Could a Space Marine become an Inquisitor? No, I believe. I'd need clarification, but I believe no. As a Blood Angels player, I find it impossible to beat Wolves. Well, hopefully it will change in 8th. Can you imagine Demon Lorgar kicking Gilliman's ass? Because Gilliman's a plot device? Probably not, but maybe. What do you think of the Ultima Founding? It's a stupid name. Just give it a number. Same as always. If you want to nickname it the Ultima Founding, fine, but give it a goddamn number. Other than that, no real issue. Are there still Wolves on Fenris? The Wolves still stand, yes. Read the Outcast Dead. Okay, that's got Thunder Warriors in it, fair enough. Perturabo, Warhound, Titan. He won't be as big as because Magnus was always the largest of the Primarchs. I don't think he's going to be that big, but he'll certainly be probably larger than most Dreadnoughts. He'll be pretty damn impressive. If an Orc sabotaged his ship's wing to explode during a warp jump, would it crash? No idea. Yes, if the Marine is part of the Inquisitorial Retinue. I didn't even know that was a thing. I know that there are chapters who were sort of sworn to the Inquisition, but I didn't realize they become like acolytes or something. What do you think about the Baal thing? Oh, with Kabanda. Fair enough. I can justify it. I haven't paid attention to the leaks. I've paid attention to the news. Will this edition be more combat based? If it'll suck for most Tau and Sisters of Battle? Well, I'm all right with the edition having more combat because 6th and 7th was so heavy on shooting. I just want a bit of balance between the two, basically. Does Medusa have an iron ring just like Mars? I believe it's got a moon nearly the size of it. How many Imperator Titans are there? Don't know. Demon Mortarian's barely bigger than Gilliman. That's true. Have I read what happened to Baal? Sort of. Black Shields can become Inquisitors if they're an acolyte. Oh, maybe Black Shields. I don't know. Maybe. Getting Knight size for Perturabo. Sure, he doesn't want to be outshined by Magnus. He had enough of that with everyone else. But the problem is Magnus was always the largest to begin with, and as a shapeshifter, Pert isn't. It's great. There we go. I don't think Perturabo's going to have a mask. I really don't. I think he's still going to be bareheaded, same as he was before. Average Space Marine Legion versus Titan Legion. Depends on what weapons the Space Marines had to hand, probably. And even then it's pushing it. Is Slime Arbo canon? Yes. Slime Arbo just got some rules and a model. Of course he's canon. Yeah, he's canon. Should bring Dawn back as the hand from the Addams family. I've never actually seen the Addams family. Angron, what the hell is that weird what? That weird what? His weapon is the Black Blade, which is the demon weapon, because he abandoned Gorefather and broke Gorechild. Prawn Crackers, man. Can Thousand Sons recruit more Marines? Yes, they can recruit sorcerers, yes. Because if you look in the Armament series, that's exactly what happens. Do you think a demon Primarch is definitely more powerful than normal Primarch because it has different powers? It varies, I think. We'll have to see, and maybe just play them all off against each other and see what happens. Will our society, if we ended up on the same technological level as the Eldar, will our society face the same problems apart from the whole Slaanesh thing? Well, the problems the Eldar had was basically that they got bored not because their technology was so good, because they conquered everybody. They were bored, and that's where all the problems came from, not because of their technology. Did the Iron Hands get Mantis' hammer back? No, I think Perturabo has it. Would GW ever really explain what the Watchers in the Dark are, or will they keep them mysterious like Cypher? Either or. We don't know. Hopefully they explain it when they release Johnson. Can't prove it though. An entire Loyalist Titan Legion was destroyed on Calth. Well, Calth was a surprise attack, but fair enough. Good point. Theoretical or astro? I personally prefer theoretical physics to astrophysics. Because theoretical, the maths is hard, but you explore some really cool particle level stuff. Astro never grabbed me as much. Because Perturabo is an Imperial Knight Titan Demon Engine thing. It'll almost certainly have some sort of Demon Engine thing going for him. Yeah, Pert has the hammer. I thought he did. Yeah, Horus gave it to him. You're right. He won't be in a Dread Knight thing. No way. $200 Devastators versus 2 Reavers. No idea. Depends on the weapons again. Basically what I'm asking, if we reach that level and basically have every need catered for, we grow bored and start doing the same things the Eldar did toward the end. I don't know. It wouldn't be good, but as long as we were able to do something, I don't know, we'll see. You've already asked me that about the Orc thing, I honestly don't know. Rubik Marines versus Plague Marines 8th and Fluff. No idea. Because the Rubiks would lose without a sorcerer, so it's kind of hardly fair. Yeah, Perturabo had issues with a lot of the brothers, but hey. Also, I appreciate the attempt at a pun. What happened to Khaldor Drago in the new lore? No idea. We'll see. How big... Not finishing that. What do you think about the captain in Gravis armor having 6 wounds? Probably about standard. I think 5 or 6 will be standard for most characters these days. What is a Tech Marine? A Tech Marine is a member of the Adeptus Astartes who travelled to Mars and was trained by the Adeptus Mechanicus in working with machines and other technology, so as they can keep the chapter's motor pool running, basically. But needed more hugs. Perhaps. Yeah, we've got 75 people in the chat. That's cool. Yeah. Who is the shortest Primarch not including Alpharius Omegon? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not drinking Fanta. No, it's a little bit sad. This it's M&S own brand Fanta. Florida Orange. I very rarely get it. I'm only getting if I'm going that way. It's like 80p, and it is so nice. The Watch in the Dark are warp entities. That doesn't answer a lot. Honestly, there's so many more questions. That's one of those like, okay, tell me more. That doesn't say enough. In the Vortic Unity, the Eldar would distract the humans enough to stop them birthing a Slaanesh. In fact, maybe that's what we've been doing this entire time. Not sure. From the artwork in the book Primarchs, it seems that Angron is the shortest. Huh. Interesting. How is currently invading Baal? Well, the Tyranids were trying, and then they got beat back by Kabanda, I think. possibly by accident. This is a little late, but I had to double check. The smallest Titan Legion is the Legio Sirius, which is 1 Warlord, 1 Reaver, 2 Warhounds. Oh, that is pretty small. I don't know anything about that Titan, honestly. A unique Titan would be kind of cool in the rules. It would probably just be an upgrade kit rather than a full release. So Primaris Chaos Marine is going to happen, almost certainly. I hope. It would make sense. Is there a regiment entirely made up of clones? Not that I'm aware of, but it could be. What happens if a crew eats a Void Whale? Don't know. From the artwork of the Heresy book, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen this artwork. I really don't get enough chance to look through artwork and stuff. I try, but I don't get enough. Psi stuff, absolutely. Psi Titans would be cool. I don't believe Psi Knights are actually confirmed to be canon. Psi Knights, I don't know. Psi Titans are canon. I don't know about Psi Knights. Angron was always mad because of the butcher's nails. No other reason. Have they brought up the genetic purity of the Imperium to Guilliman, or does he care? If they've mentioned it to him, it hasn't been mentioned to us. How tall are the Terminator Custodes? Not sure. It's probably a unique pattern for them, so hard to know. Battlefield like Game of the 40K Universe, the Guardsman. Well, you saw how Battlefront went. Primaris Chaos is Death Guard rules-wise. Well, I suppose, because the Death Guard have really had a growth spurt. I noticed that. Hopefully, at one point, we'll get Primaris Chaos, or at least in Fluff, we'll get Primaris Chaos, I'm sure. Favourite type of Sunday roast? Probably either beef or chicken. Not sure which, though. Will Johnson want Gilliman's sword? No, he'll want his own sword off Cypher, first and foremost. Feel 40k game would be better as Halo than Battlefield as character variety. Well, the problem is with Halo is you'd have to change the game mechanics completely because there's not many troops that maneuver like that. Would the Emperor approve the Primaris Marines? Well, yeah. Since he gave Korax the tech to build the Raptors, which were kind of like the first wave and sort of the forerunners for the Primaris, yeah. Thank you. See you later, and thank you for the well wishes with the exams. What's a good model for painters? So many good models you can paint. Have I pre-ordered Magnus the Red? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I have. Oh yeah, I have. So he's going to be waiting for me at home when I get back from uni. Favourite savoury pie? Meat and potato. All day, every day. Steak and potato pie. Every time. Chicken and ham's good though. Flash kits? I actually haven't got flash kits. I might have to get some flash kits. Do you believe Eldred is tricking the orcs? He's tricking everybody, including probably himself. When do I finish uni? I finished my lectures. My exams finish on the 7th and I'm home on the 12th. That's when I finish uni full stop. 2 years time. As chapters such as Salamanders could defeat a Titan Legion such as that little Legion if they did certain things. Possibly. Do a bat rep with both Mighties in. The problem is balancing 7th and 8th, or balancing 30k and 40k doesn't really work that well. So it'll be kind of hard to do. Hang on, scroll back if you're referring to something. Oh, oops. I meant the Space Marines, maybe a Dreadnought or a Terminator Captain. Yeah, okay. Just to correct you, Angron was not short, he was the 3rd tallest. I haven't seen the stats, I can't say either way. How do the orcs make their clothes? Not sure actually, they don't really explore that. Would you want to meet and play a game when I'm back home? We'll see. Basically, I go and play when I get chance. I'm not looking to do, like, challenge fans and stuff because, well, I'm still living with my parents at home and it's kind of not my place. And I don't drive, so getting somewhere is a bit of a pain in the arse. I mean, if you happen to go to the same gaming store as I go to and happen to be there the same day, and you happen to recognise me, then fair enough. How large is the wargaming community in Manchester? Pretty large. The Games Workshop Manchester Facebook group is pretty big, I think. Can human and told? I think you've had a spell check there. Is there a Scouse regiment? There's probably a regiment that sounds and acts like Scousers, yes. Thank you for your time and answering the questions. Gotta go. Fair play. Take care. Barrel looks like the fantasy equivalent. They must be looted pants. Well, I suppose it could be looted and then just crudely stapled together. Or the grots do it. Yeah, that's true. Oh, my PC's holding up, which is good. When Romulus gets his legion together, will you two do a battle? If we meet up, then sure. But that needs to be arranged first. Are the Dark Angels traitors? No. Probably not. Cunningly brutal or brutally cunning, so Gork or Mork. It's not cunningly brutal or brutally cunning, it's Gork is brutal but cunning, and Mork is cunning but brutal. What is Krieg's worst regiment? All the death calls are pretty much the same. Yeah, the Dark Angels won't go traitor. For the sake of the plot, they'll never go traitor. The Fallen might become a faction. Human and Orc. If it's been tried, it's failed. That's all I'll say. If it's been tried, it'll have failed. Yeah, would have probably a Primarch battle if I fought Remlais. Yeah, both of us would use our Primarchs, I'm sure. Do you think Inade is the Emperor? Unlikely that they're one and the same. I mean, it depends if you believe the Star Child theory, really, I suppose, and whether the Emperor's the Star Child, which has something to do with something. Cypher's an Index Chaos. Of course he is. Why are Primarchs such sensitive and emotional beings? Because they have emotions and they're human. That's the way it works. Well, they're sort of human. Let's not have a trigger war. First draw of the missing legions, we don't speak about the missing legions. Pretty much. Kerr's lost to a chapter master in game. Ah, that's unlucky. It can happen. The dice can just betray you like that. Plus, if Kerr's might not have been on 4 wounds, it can happen. Oh god, now we're having a fight. Thoughts on the Yannari being a full faction in the Codex Xenos? They're not, are they? I think it's Eldari, Trukhari. Oh yeah, they are. Inari are a separate faction, I think. Fine. I mean, we had a feeling it was going to be. Fine. They've got such different rules concerning their faction from the Eldar. It's fine. And yes, that would also rely on the Emperor not being a god. I've done an entire separate video about that. It's the most popular video in the channel's history. Do you think which Primarch you chose is a good personality test? Maybe. I mean, I sympathise a lot with Magnus. High intellect, fondness for psychic powers. I don't know if it's a good test, but it probably maybe gives a few indicators as to what sort of traits you might have. I don't know. Would Drago be Armin in lore? Depends on how good his psychic resistance happened to be that day. Is there too much golden terror? Maybe. Just seems weird having a full faction using the same models from others. Welcome to the Gene Stealer cults that use Imperial Guard models. For a start. Hype for Angelus? Not as hyped as I was for Prospero, obviously, but yeah, looks good. Good to get Cygnus Prime and rules for Johnson and Sanguinius into the place, into the public domain, because that's important. Yes, Gabriel Angelos is getting a model. I don't know who those other two are. I'm assuming they're other Dawn of War Space Marine generals. But yes, Gabriel Angelos is getting a model, which is interesting. Caught me out. Will Magnus free himself, or will Zine Shorter been freed from the webway? We'll see. He'll be out. Don't know how. If you're going to call it that, then what's the point in even asking? But a good starter for Age of Sigmar would probably be an army that's already been done. So Stormcast, Bloodbound, Sylvaneth, Seraphon, Flesh Eater Courts, Iron Jaws, Bone Splitters, Karajon Overlords, Fire Slayers. An army that's already been done is probably for the best for now. What happened to the Thousand Suns fleet that Magnus sent away before Prospero? Assumedly, it just eventually... I think some of it came back, because that's the force that Khan ran into. Khan the Betrayer, not Jagtai Khan. He ran into Death Guard. Are the Chaos Jods just weird? Have I read the Priest of Mars trilogy? Oh yeah, I have. I don't remember it 100%, but I've read the whole series. It was a joke. Well, it's a joke I didn't particularly find funny, I'm afraid. Because, well, people shaft Age of Sigmar, and at this point there's no point. Favourite regiment? I've just done the Death Corps, so I'm probably a little bit biased toward them, but I also like the Casterchans and the Steel Legion quite a lot. Opinions on GW's changing its social media presence? Such a good idea. Such a good idea. And I really think 8th edition's gone over so well, purely because, GW's social media has been so good. And I honestly think, long may it continue. Prawn crackers, man. I would very much like a Gorguts model. That would be cool. Feel free to talk about something that isn't 40k as well. Because we had a really good talk about AI last stream, and that was really fun. Krieg need the masks. That's their breathing unit. Without them, they die from radiation poisoning or just general poisoning. So they need the masks. That's why they have them off-world. I think it's just so ingrained in their culture at this point. The point of Krieg lore is to survive. The point of Krieg lore is also this is what happens when you nuke your own planet. Please don't. I'm alright with the non-vehicle Primaris in general. I'm not 100% about the jump packs, but maybe they'll grow on me. What am I eating? I'm eating prawn crackers. Don't judge. The Tower have an equivalent to Emperor class battle type. The biggest thing they've got is the Storm Surge, so no. Grey Knights versus the Enclaves, full power. Grey Knights win because psychic powers exist. Can't blame a guy for trying to keep his planet free now. What could I do? Not have a governor that was potentially corrupted and live in a system that was, or have an imperium that was actually willing to help you. Why don't they use nukes in Void Warfare? They might. I honestly don't. It might vary from ship to ship and fleet to fleet. Has GW killed all possibility of combining the fantasy and 40k universe? Maybe let just a few of the best transition from fantasy. They'll almost never fuse the two together. They need to stay separate. Are we human or are we AI? I don't believe we are AI because there's no controller. There's no creator that we know of living among us, and generally why would you leave an AI species to itself? Also, we wouldn't be AI because that's robotic and we're organic, not synthetic. Malal new faction, unlikely. How did the Death Corps not get punished by the Ad Munitorum for wasting resources for 2 years? Would you argue with them? Also, maybe they didn't tell them. Get that hashtag out of my chat. Since it'll take such a long time to reach another star system, might a generation ship be more feasible? A what now? Sorry, try and speak less sci-fi things, because I love 40k, but I haven't read enough sci-fi like Star Trek and stuff. When's a good time of year to visit the UK? There's never, if you're talking about the weather, there's never a good time to visit the UK. The weather's always unpredictable. The Dutch name for broadcast, yes, if that's the Dutch word for it, then yes, I suppose so. Have you ever witnessed enemy psychers rolling powers warp to come back as demon princes? Yep, it's happened to me. Twice. If you want to handle the Death Corps questions, fine, and I can try and handle the chat, but sure. That's not even funny. An ancestor simulation. Again, we're not synthetic. This is the thing. Like, if we were AI, we'd have been an AI that was created. It's synthetic. It's a robot at the end of the day that can think. So it can't really be that. As for a simulation, well, It could be. Depends on whether you consider, like, I don't know. I remember asking about this in the comments, and it wouldn't be like the Matrix, I don't think. I don't know, honestly. Should we nuke Mars to release the water in the poles for terraform? We wouldn't nuke it, because then the water would all get irradiated, and that completely wastes the point. A generation ship, basically if you or I were on the ship, it wouldn't be us but our great-great-great-grandchildren who made it. Very risky. Because if you have a generation of very bad engineers and something goes wrong, well, you're screwed. What are the physics of a nuclear bomb detonating in space? Exactly the same as a nuclear bomb detonating in atmosphere. Just there's the fallout goes in all directions and just sort of dissipates into space rather than landing back down to Earth. Why do I like the Death Corps? Because they're just different. They're such an interesting fact. They've got such a cool idea behind them. And their aesthetic's pretty good. And the models are pretty good. Any opinions of Cypher's Kane? Haven't read the novels. Have I played Shadow War Armageddon with Tau? Yeah, it wasn't fun. In Shadow War Armageddon, I played against Necrons, Skitarii, and Gene Stealer Cult, and it was not fun in the slightest. Is there a chance that Ethereal's psychic weapons the Admiral that do similar things with their commanding presence to Tau? Unlikely to be exactly that. We don't know how the Ethereals work. Are we really the precursors to the Tyranids? Well, if we had a hive mind, it would help. Come to Dublin someday. Would love to destroy some Tau with my angels. I'm not planning to do like road trips to go and fight, but if I'm in a city and I'm coming on my own, or I'm coming on a Warhammer based thing, like to go to an event or something, then I can do a fan meetup. But I'm not going to go out of my. I'm not going to ask people to go out of their way to come to me, and I'm not going to go out of my way to come to people because time. Will Draco ever fully return to the material world? He's kind of cursed to stay in the warp. What do you think about Roland's theory that the Tower secretly will be led to the Necrons to speed advance their development because they want to use the Tower as their new bodies? Not impossible, but probably quite unlikely. What we might do to terraform Mars is to slam a giant comet into Mars or set up huge factories to release CO2 into the atmosphere. It doesn't have an atmosphere, so you need to create. What they're talking about is giving Mars its own magnetic field to allow an atmosphere to form. Any suggestions for infantry Tau? Are we talking like pure foot sluggers, or are we talking mechanized infantry? Because mechanized infantry is definitely better. In space, if you push away from ISS, would you just float away until you die because of zero gravity? Unless you hit something else or had some other way to apply force, then I don't think there'd be enough to stop. But you would also be in orbit, so you might end up just orbiting. Not sure. Niagara Falls. I've been to Niagara Falls. I went under Niagara Falls when I was like 7 on the Maid of the Mist. It was fun, I think. Given knowledge of physics, to think anyway possible to any degree that something similar to Space Marine power armor is possible to be made in real life, and why do you think so? Well, the problem is, like, Space Marine power armor, no, because that requires Gene Seed and the Black Carapace. Something that works like power armor, like an exoskeleton, definitely possible, because, well, we're already doing it. It'd be more like Fallout armor than 40k armor, though. Fire Warrior Infantry, oof. You're going to be outmaneuvered a lot. You're going to need some rapid response. So, whether that's Piranhas, battle suits, Vespid, you can't have an all-infantry army these days. It just doesn't work. Oh, you were for Maid of the Mist. Cool. Glad you enjoyed the lore videos. Mars has some atmosphere, but it's not high enough pressure to do anything good, which is why they want to boost the magnetic field to trap more gas and create a workable atmosphere. How do we create an artificial magnetic field big enough to give Mars an atmosphere? And that, I don't know. Inserting bucket loads of iron into the core or under the planet's surface, maybe. Lacing the surface with magnetic field generators, I'm not sure. But that's one of the theories that NASA had about it. I remember seeing. Could you live in a Land Raider? No. Not live in, no. Sweep the board with tide walls. Well, if you have moving cover, that's different. I was not counting moving terrain. What would you like to work with after you finish education? I might actually go and work in education as a teacher. That's kind of my plan right now, to become a physics teacher. I've got a volunteer placement when I go home. The thing you find scariest in 40k, the lore or game? No idea. Way too many answers to that. Will the new vehicle be called it? No, it won't. Really, really big magnets at the poles would be a start, but you need it to be a uniform field, so you need it to be at the core. and then radiate outwards rather than... Well, it would work like that, but it helps, because the problem is the fields would then... You'd have two fields sort of doing like that, as opposed to one field doing that, which is what the Earth has, because it's coming from the core. So the two poles of the magnetic field generate the field lines, and they sort of go around like that. Whereas if they were on the ends, you'd have two poles doing that, and it would just get messy, interference in the middle, and it wouldn't work. Because if we don't do anything that we do, we'll be stripped by solar wind. Exactly, and that's why they need to create a magnetic field to protect. Mars' core isn't liquid anymore, it's basically cooled off. Not sure, need to drill there. Do you think Town will ever get a super heavy tank? Well, super heavy tanks don't exist anymore, technically. Do I magnetize my models? No. I don't. Could you use tidal friction? I'm not a geologist. That's more of a geology question than it is a physics question, honestly. How big is the human contribution to climate change? Probably relatively large. My brother's a geography student. He knows more about it than I do. Should the Enclaves replace the main empire? No, it's kind of nice. We kind of need the main empire because it's got more resources. We know time travel is possible in the 40k universe. There's been occasions of warp mishaps. Is it possible you think you could go back in time and correct some mistakes? It's uncontrolled. I don't believe there's any control over it unless the Order of Kronos have managed something. I haven't read those books. If it covers terraforming, then that's cool. I'm not an expert. But you need to sort the atmosphere out first. First step, atmosphere. Could you do it with lasers? The problem is, how would you then manage to maintain its temperature? Because once you've melted it, what's to stop it recooling? If in doubt, screw Mars and go to Andromeda. Why? It's just, okay, the nearest planet doesn't work. Let's pick another galaxy. Not the next few planets out, not the next solar system, the next bloody galaxy. Like, why not? Tau Lord of War tank ever? No, they're not. That's not the way they generally operate. It'd be more like what do you call it? The Storm Surge, which is more maneuverable. Could you heat the core with explosives? No, same reason. How would you not stop it cooling? Will Earth ever unite into a single faction? Unless there's something else out there, then, which there probably is. I think you kind of need something for them to unite behind. Like maybe having a common goal, like exploring the galaxy, because let's say, why would you want a space race between America and China and Russia and Europe and everywhere else in the world when you know there's a race that's maybe a few systems over that we found, I don't know, or in the next galaxy that we know exists? Why would we want to fight each other when we know that race is out there and we might have to deal with it? So that might be enough to bring us together, but on our own, probably not. Smashing asteroids wouldn't work. It would just break the planet apart, eventually. Who do you think will most likely survive or outlive all the others in the galactic conflict? The Imperium will be one of the last to go, or whatever the answer. Gotta go, fair enough. Take care. Time travel to the past and future is possible. Orican the Diviner is said to completely reliable time travel. Yeah, he's Orican. One guy. When's the next podcast? Wednesday morning. Or Wednesday after, or late Tuesday, depending on where you are. It's 7 o'clock UK time, Wednesday. What do I think about UFOs? Would need to study the evidence a bit better for myself. That's not funny. How would real space combat be? I heard it isn't as cool as Star Wars. Can you explain? I'm not an expert, but it'll certainly be a lot quieter. That's for sure, because it's a vacuum, and sound needs to propagate through something. Can you exterminate the Tau, for example, by shooting a psychic beacon into enemy territory? Oh, can you hear music, by the way? Because sounds like there's a... Yeah, it sounds like there's a party going on, and if there's any music that gets in, I want to shut my window so you can't hear it, so as the stream can't hear it, so as it doesn't get pinged. It'll be 7 AM UK. Thoughts on Necrons for 8th? Haven't seen their rules, but if you think they look cool, go for it. Where are the special Heresy units for Space Wolves at Warhammerfest? The Space Wolves, didn't they get a... No, they might not have done. Patience, that's all I'm going to say. No music. Okay, good. Who is the oldest Primarch? Johnson. Johnson is believed to be the first Primarch, so if there is an oldest, it's Johnson. Fair enough, thank you for the recommendation. Not noise brains, no, it's just as dull background noise. Okay, if this gets copyright strike, I'm going to be very, very annoyed. Yeah, I wish I got to Warhammerfest, I really do. I wish I'd got there, but I didn't get a chance. Comes and goes. Yeah, it's gone now. I'm gonna pull my window too as a precaution. How powerful is the Tau? Powerful enough to give the Imperium a headache on the East Coast. Beyond that, not sure. Can I see your comment? Yes. I don't read all of them because the chat goes by at a certain rate and I've got to talk about something. Have I seen the Forge World Madness? Yes, I've already pre-ordered it. Are noise marines just super edgy teenagers? No, they're genetically modified Emperor's Children Marines. What 40k faction is going to be a new powerhouse? Hopefully none of them, because they'll get patched. Am I going to get Armon? I don't know. Probably not. Or certainly not immediately. Why Kilexis for Aunfab? Because maybe they believe the Ethereals had some psychic power going on, and it's also... Kilexis are extremely unnerving for non-psychic individuals, so it might have been to sort of immobilise the Tau fireworks, which is exactly what it did. I feel like this chat is something like press conferences with all the people wanting to ask questions. I can't read them all. Not anymore. The chat doesn't go... It goes a little bit too quick for me to read them all. I'm sorry, I can't get through them all. Sorry. Someone mentioned Tau being manipulated by Necrons theory. Can I explain that? Go watch Remlace's video on it. It's easier. Can we make bolters? Right now, I don't believe so, but I don't think that it's impossible to do in theory. Might the transference of conscious like the Necron theory be possible in real life? Biotransference. Wouldn't want to rule it out, but I don't think it would be quite as good as that, like storing our conscience. We could probably... The problem is conscience is maybe a little bit more than just neurons firing, which could be saved as code. I don't know, actually. I hope... Do you see confirm the Emperor doesn't hate the Primarchs? That scene has been massively misinterpreted. Hang on, wait. Could you clarify that? Hope Portugal super OP? No, nothing should be super OP. I want everything to be balanced and fair, or at least in the range of everything can beat everything else. Remlace did the video on the Necron Taus, as I think someone mentioned. The Assassin's going to be Imperial Index 2? I bloody well hope so. Confirmed by ADB. What was... the Emperor doesn't hate the Primarchs. That scene has been... I think it's not that he hates them. It's just their tools, their means to an end. I think is how I interpret it. Thoughts on GMOs? Sure. It's going to be necessary at some point. Almost certainly. So, yep. No problem with that. Know your opinion on the storage of large quantities of nuclear warheads? Not a good idea. Can you put the Town Forge World turrets on the firewalls? For aesthetics, maybe. In game, I don't think so. I haven't actually seen the rules for the Firestorm, whatever WWDs, the walls. Thoughts on the Imperial Assassins? The Vindicator is badass because I love snipers. The Averse is terrifying. The Kalidas is even more terrifying, and the Kilexis is just creepy. See, this is why I like STEM people. What? I like science. Science is fun for me. I find science fun. ADB just says that the Big E appears completely different depending on who he's talking to. Oh. Okay. US Army has a weapon system that functions similar to how bolters work in the fluff, but it needs to be vehicle mounted. I can see that. Oh, James and your Vindicator. Yeah, BS8 missed 3 turns in a row. That was hilarious. My friend here said Eldar will die out first, Dark Eldar second, because they refuse to or do not wish to reproduce. It's not. I don't think it's that they refuse. I think their reproducing system is broken. Or it just takes too long for them to repopulate, I think. I'm not 100%. Thoughts on a Psychic Knight for the Thousand Suns? Would be cool. Don't know if they'll do it. Thoughts on art becoming part of STEM? Honestly, I don't think that's the most logical idea they've ever had. If they want to try it, but science, technology, engineering and mathematics and arts and history kind of go together a bit better than STEM. Fair enough. Would you allow genetic modification of humans to extend their lifespan for space travel, or would it be used for evil? It would almost certainly be used badly by some people, or it could be. It could be exploited, yes, but if we are able to do it, it's worth a try, maybe. The Graphic do procreate. Sorry, I think I'm getting that from text-to-speech. Maybe it was just a joke that they broke their own reproductive system by... Yeah. Don't diss history. Yeah, I'm not dissing history. I really like history. Like Roman history, like Roman and Greek are two parts of history that I really enjoy. But I prefer science to history. As someone who massively enjoys biology, genetic modification is most likely never going to become a key part of human society and would mainly be used for rapid animal adaptation. Quite possibly. It's certainly for now, yes. But once we've mastered it, what's to stop them using it to try and cure ailments, such as if you've got broken nerve endings or something like that, or you've got some sort of genetic dysfunction, some genetic issue, then why wouldn't they try and fix it? Let's say it's they find the genetics for cancer. Why wouldn't they use genetic modification? A wizard knight riding a giant mech shooting lightning. A wizard knight, a giant mech shooting lightning bolts. Yeah, that would be pretty awesome. I did the world wars in my history topics, and they were alright, but not amazing. If an individual that could be compared to the Emperor stepped up in our time, how do you think the world would react? With a lot of confusion and then panic, because we don't like that idea of overlords. Well, most of the time. Will I ever be able to play Scarbrand or Khan and keyword Corn with my Demonkin? Almost certainly they'll have the Corn keyword. A lot of the Eldar naming scheme is based off of Irish lore and history. Fair enough, I'm not very good at Irish, but that's cool enough. Yeah, true, you have the idea of designer babies, which is Galatea? Oh, what was the film I watched about exactly that? Galatea or something like that? Or Galactia? I forget. CRISPR? Yep, CRISPR's a thing. Stem cell research. Research, fine. Just depends on how you want to use it. And super soldiers before cures. Depends on who got their hands on it first. I was referring to advanced modifications such as additional or extended organs and limbs, etc. Okay, fair enough. Watch Crash Course World History. I'm not good for crash courses. I'd rather look into the detailed things I particularly enjoy. British and Irish relations history with sprinkles of lore. My family's part Irish. That'd be kind of interesting to look at, like, British and Irish history. It's just not something that's ever grabbed me as much. The Chinese Three Kingdoms around 500. Gattaca. That was the one. Thank you, chat. This is why I love doing things on streams, because chat tell me things. Hey, Paradigm to see. Yeah, I saw someone playing Paradigm. I only like a short preview, which was interesting. CRISPR is nothing but media hype. It's been years and CRISPR's never achieved anything. Well, we don't know that. Who is the worst part to learn in history for an exam? I haven't done a history exam in way too long, so not sure. Does the Thousand Suns have any tanks left? Probably. It really isn't. It's about the trade wars and the borders and Irish neutrality. Ah, I see. What do you think will be a greater role in the future of human development? Cybernetics or genetic engineering? Depends on which gets developed first, because whichever one is developed first gets more time in the sun, and so will probably become the standard for a good while. Personally, I prefer cybernetics, but people will be innately distrustful of anything robotic. So probably genetic engineering is more subtle. Personally, I quite like the idea of cybernetics and AI in general. If you go down the route that involves AI, you'll go with cybernetics. If you want it to be all about humanity, you'll go down the genetic engineering route. Oliver Cromwell, it's a prototype word, but I thought it was completely anti-religion. Maybe. No, he was just anti-fun. You think Magnus has the biggest demon? He's a shapeshifter, so he's probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest. Is Facebook become an IRL thing? Would you enlist to become one? I'm too old already, at least by current canon. I'm not 100% on CRISPR, so I don't know all the details. Love 1,000 Suns tank where the crew becomes dust within the tank and it becomes full multiple personality death machine. That would be kind of interesting. Cybernetics is cool, but you really want your arm to be connected to the internet. Well, there's a difference between cybernetics, I think, is more like bionics. So it'll be connected to my nervous system to allow it to function. It might have internet access built into it, the same as my phone, or if I had one, my watch, but it'll be no different. The device could easily be isolated from the internet and just respond to my nervous system to do what I want it to do. History exams, the revolution of the 19th century after Napoleon, the world. I think the Cold War's really interesting. I'd need to do more reading, but the Cold War looked really interesting. Don't think the Tower were all that tough, it's just the Imperials getting his ass kicked in so many places they can't bring enough force. Also true. Favourite physics lecturer? For me, I've always enjoyed Tim O'Brien's lectures and Jeff Forshaw's. And my thermal lecturer, Tobias Galler. Great lecturers. Really good fun. Hardcore Puritan was in a rebellion. I know about the English Civil War and the death of Charles I. Was it Puritan? Right, got it. Don't worry about your arm, it'll be plugged into your brain. If it was an implant, yeah, that's true. Good luck, thank you. Multiple arguments over where to shoot, who to shoot, what's the concept of shooting in the first place, aka each queries. It'd be interesting to see like a demon engine where the crew argues with itself. That would be kind of funny. Good luck making a mechanical nerve. Well, we do it now. We have bionic arms. What do you think prosthetics are? What do you think prosthetics are? It's just the advancement of that. Are the Thousands of Dreadnought also called Are they also rubric? It depends if they were psychic to begin with. You caught a stream. Yes, you did. Yay, good for you. Any history post 1914 without boots on the ground is boring. I personally disagree with that. I'm not a huge fan of politics, but like Cold War history does kind of intrigue me. Why do you ignore my questions about autistic problems? Because I don't have an answer. Sometimes if there's a question that I really genuinely don't have an answer to, and I can see something I can answer, I will skip past it because it's easier for me to talk about something that I can actually talk about. I'm sorry if it comes across rude, but it's not ignorance, it's just I don't have an answer. Can I give a basic overview of the War of the Roses? Sure. England and Yorkshire and Lancashire went to war, and Lancashire won. There you go. Is there a Discworld reference? Not that I'm aware of. I like the economic side of history. The economics is not my particular favourite topic, but interesting idea. Do you think we are close to servitors, taking prisoners or workers and convert them into menial labourers? Without mind wipes, that will never work. You'd need mind wipes before you could even think of creating servitors. So, no. I know it wasn't intended to be mean, it was just curiosity, but it's just, if I don't have an answer, then I'm not going to answer. How long did this go on for? Probably another 30 to 45 minutes. Because I started 15 minutes late, so I normally aim for 2 hours, so probably 30 to 40 minutes. Cold War doesn't have enough backstabbing. Well, not enough backstabbing we know about, anyway. And yes, people would complain about turning people into servitors. People would complain like hell. The greatest combi weapon. Railgun crossed with a combi railgun scatter laser. Sure, whatever. When do you think a good Primarch will be brought back? Magnus is already back, and Mortarian's about to come back, and Gilliman's back. They're all relatively good, and I'm a huge fan of Magnus, so there you go. Yeah, I'm hoping Book 8 will flesh out Lionel Johnson, and unfortunately Book 8 won't be out by the time I do my Dark Angels lore video, so I'm going to be able to miss some of that. Can Horus be resurrected? No. Do you like videos on nuclear tests? There's some awesome videos. I've not looked at them, honestly. And they're not awesome. They're terrifying in a way. But they are also kind of like, whoa. And they do show you just how much power the atom has. I always had an interest in the Russian Civil War. You mean the one that led to the rise of communism? Like that one? I think that's the one you mean. 40k Magnus, 30k Magnus. I'm hugely biased. 30k. Every time. Drago vs Magnus. I'd like to say Magnus wins. But we know what GW is like with Drago. Avon is an absolute monster now. Thoughts? Yeah, he is. He's maybe not on Primarch level, but he's damn powerful. And so he should be. He's Horus' successor. Bears the mark of Chaos Ascendant. Glad you enjoyed the stream. Shame we couldn't see it through to the end. See you later. Favourite Xenos Titan? The only Xenos Titans are Bio Titans and Eldar ones. Yeah, the atomic testing is beautiful in its own way, but also absolutely terrifying, and yeah, works both ways. I have not been into Poundland recently, and I don't believe that they're servitors, no. Interesting way of looking at it. Yeah, the hydrogen bombs are something else entirely. And yeah, of course it's symmetry, because you're focusing the explosion from a point and it's expanding outwards, and the natural expansion of things when it's uniform is spherical. So you'd expect it to be spherical. Or hemispherical because, you know, the ground. Abaddon might be powerful. I doubt the Chaos Realms will ever show him the same respect they showed Horus. Well, he won Angron's respect in the fighting pits of Angron's home in order to secure his support for the 13th Black Crusade, so he has kind of got their respect. Have you seen Doctor Strangelove? I've seen Doctor Strange, which was interesting. Strangelove, no. Don't the Tower of Titan killings are basically guns with legs? The Storm Surge is their anti-Titan thing, so sort of. You think they'll be working fusion reactors in the next 30 years? We've been saying that for the last 100. Well, pretty much since we split... No, not 100. But pretty much since we created fission, we've wanted fusion. I don't want to put a timescale on it, but I'm hoping to see it within my lifetime. I don't want to put time on it. Doctor Strange was... I was kind of half tuned out a couple for a bit, and I sort of missed bits of it. But it was pretty interesting, and the animations and cinematics were pretty damn good. Want to see some more stuff with the Tyranids? Yep. More Tyranid lore would be great. And more Xenos lore in general would be great. Do you think the universe is actually a giant bomb used by like an 8th dimensional war? What? You have lost me. Sorry, you have lost me. Best James Bond? I haven't seen that much James Bond. Most of the Bond I've seen have been Daniel Craig, to be honest. So like Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, and Skyfall and stuff. I've seen bits of like Roger Moore and Sean Connery, but only bits. So I'd need to watch them all before I made a mind up. Xenos lore, get the Vindicate. Hey! Bugger off. Oh! How I learned to love the atom bomb. How the Cold War started by accident. Of course, yeah, I know the secondary title. Yeah, rings a bell. I've not seen it or watched or read it, but I know of it. Other than the old ones, is there any other superpowers from ancient times that could be hiding? Also, where are the enslavers? They might be extinct. Not sure. As well as ancient stuff, well, the Necrons are nearly as old. Start either an Aspect Host or an Necronomic. That sounds like a plan. One of the two. Just whichever you prefer. What's the Vindicator going to do to the Xenos Lover today? I want to say that's not bloody canon, but it is. I think. Want more books of the Thousand Suns pre-counts than I care? Would be nice. I think hopefully book 7 will flesh it out a lot. I've never bought minis from anywhere other than GW in answer to that question. Speaking of Tyranids, the hive ship spend decades, centuries, or even eons floating around the Tervigons wander the ship looking for breaches. Does that mean that some Tervigons are ancient? Depends on if they get broken down and recycled every time they get to a certain age, and whether Tyranids even age at all. It depends on whether Tyranids even age. Necron should destroy Tyranids with the Silent King's return, question mark. Should, don't know. Could, maybe. Best Citadel model, oh god, there are so many good ones. Lilith Hesprax is a fantastic sculpt. I personally really do like Lilith Hesprax's sculpt. It's just so elegant and perfectly put together. And there was a whole article about the whole Murder Your Darlings thing with Lilith Hesprax, and it really worked. I do love Lilith Hesprax's model. Taldir is dead. This is true. No, please do not send me Dark Eldar stuff. I will only start Dark Eldar if Lady Malice gets a model and rules. Because if Lady Malice gets rules, I'll play Dark Eldar, and no other time. Oh god. Oh dear. I hate you. I hate you all, chat. I hate you all. You're not funny at all. That was completely ironic. It's just a good model. Her lore is terrifying. And yeesh. It's a good sculpt, okay? It's a good design. It's been well built by, I think it was Jez. I think Jez was the guy who did Lilith. It's just a good sculpt, okay? Should have just said Farsight. Would have been so much easier. I hate you all. I hate you all. That's not... James, fuck off. I will unmod you. Yeah, I know I brought it on myself, but still, it's just a good design. Okay, he's the soloist. How does that work? The Monats, it's a way of Tau warfare that is pretty damn rare. What drew me to Tau? Farsight. Farsight's lore entirely. So someone asked me to do a Farsight lore video, so I did it, and I fell in love with Farsight's lore and now I have a Farsight army done. Will there be a Forge World Emperor model soon, and how OP will he be? Soon? Don't know. Will he be pretty damn powerful? Oh god, yes. So that's a Star Child thing. Emperor being resurrected by Inade. If the Emperor could be resurrected, then why hasn't Inade done it? Considering how important it is that Chaos is beaten back by humanity right now. Is Guilliman enough? No, okay, it's not... What it means by the Monad is not a one-man army. Well, he is a one-man army. It's more like he doesn't need support to do his job. He's like a lone wolf operative, kind of like Slimarbo, or an assassin. He works alone. That's how he works. He's not massive. He's not your army. He's just... He doesn't need support. He'll work on his own. If Rain said she wouldn't do it... Oh, fair enough. That's why they went for Guilliman. Ah, okay, that makes sense. If the Emperor is powerful, another thing is if his points match his actual power level. That's a good point. To be fair, would the Custodians let Xenos into the throne room? That is also a valid point. What's the difference between regular Tau and Farsight Tau? Okay. Well, one, I've done like a series of lore videos on Farsight, so you can see the difference between how the two came to be. But basically, Farsight knows chaos exists and believes it's so that the knowledge of chaos is so dangerous to the Empire that he basically went into exile and then created an empire without ethereals, basically. So the Farsight Enclaves don't have ethereals, but they have some unique relics and tactical stuff. And they're also more awesome. Going off thanks to the stream, glad you enjoyed it. Maybe they need all the Crone Swords. I think the Crone Swords is to fully power up in Age, not resurrect the Emperor. Why did Gilliman screw Cypher? Because... plot. What was the book Farsight wrote about the Orcs? That was the Book of the Beast. The Book of the Beast is the book. Good luck for exams, must watch the rest tomorrow. Fair enough. I'm probably going to be going for another 20 minutes, so you won't be able to miss too much now. Apparently Gabriel Andrews is getting a model. He is. Is Dawn of War canon now? Quite possibly. The Ethereals... oh, the Ethereals were named, I think. I think so, at least one of the Ethereals was named in the Farsight Enclaves book. Maybe? Maybe not. I can't remember. Why did you do push Ultramarines all the time? Because, well, it just makes sense for them to have one faction that is... or one paint scheme that is a universal generic. It's like... it's the same with Cadians, and the same with Goths, and the same with Viola, and the same with... I think Biel-Tan or Simhan is the common Eldar colour scheme. They just need one, like, basic colour scheme. And they chose the Ultramarines. And because, yes, the Ultramarines have the most successes, it also helps. Does that make the Blood... the Blood Angels are always canon, the Blood Ravens were also always canon. Does Dante wear his mask because the BA are actually a gene stealer cult? No. So if the average age of a Tau is 40 to 50, what's the average age of an Ethereal and why are they so long-lived? We don't know. There's so little detail on just like general life in the Tau Empire, and I just want all of this information. I want more Tau lore, god damn it. More Tau lore. Like, not Fire Warrior lore, like how the Firecast works. I want to know how their society works. I want to know how it's all put together. What the Watercast do to train. What their university system is like. How the Ethereals operate. What the auxiliaries do in detail and stuff. I just want to know everything. Okay? That was a little bit over the top, but you get my point. And I'd say the same about the Eldar. I'd say the same about the Necrons. I'd say the same about bloody every race. Just more information that's not Imperial. Crimson Fist of the Poster Boys, they changed the Ultramarines. I don't know why everyone asked. I don't know. No idea. I think it's maybe because, like, in first edition, like, the Codex Astartes hadn't really been designed yet. I think once they sort of canonized the idea of the Codex Astartes being written by Gilliman, it just made sense. So once they wrote about the Horus Heresy and then the Codex Astartes, I reckon that's when they made the switch. Yeah, it's all guesswork and assumptions. Dark Eldar vs Emperor's Children, who has the more effed up fluff? The Dark Eldar in general is okay in places, but the Homunculi are creepy as shit. The Emperor's Children are generally not great. If you exclude the Homunculi, probably the Emperor's Children. If you include the Homunculi, probably the Dark Eldar. Opinion on the Crimson Fist? Generally pretty damn badass. So if Lady Malice went to the Tau, would you be there? An Eldar working for the Tau will never happen. Rainbow Warrior should be a founding legion. Honestly, I think leave the legions as they are now. I think Tau Torellian Dog Soldiers will be a thing. Just a full Auxiliaries Codex? That would be nice. That has Kroot and Vespid and Gavesa and everything else, please. What do you imagine the Death Lord's wounds on Mortarion? Probably 12 to 15. What was the Tau reaction to Titans? They built the Storm Surge. Need I say any more? Yeah, Supremacy Armor, the Storm Surge. Now, I'm just going to quickly go and refill my drink. I will be right back. And we're back. And as always, the chat has degenerated in my absence. T-Peak. CT-Peak. I'll let the chat regenerate for 5 minutes. Can't wait for the Tau to find out the full scope of the galaxy's horrors. Maybe they'd be less arrogant. Well, to be fair, after the Damocles Gulf, they lost that confidence completely. That's why the third sphere expansion happened, to try and restore that confidence. Thoughts on the theory that the Minotaur's chapter master is a Custodes? It's based on that he's incredibly tall and seems emotionless to the point that he can't behave like a normal space marine. A Custodes is so much better than every space marine in combat. He'd have to be like, I think based on physical and emotional, like physical height and emotional detachment does not make one a custodian. First and last of the Primarchs to die in a fight, abandoned with like basic weapons. Well, Minus has his psychic powers, so he'll do pretty damn well. But also Alpharius and Korax are now and Kurz are now impossible to find. Why are Space Marines called Space Marines? No idea, honestly, where the name came from. They just are. Worst model I've ever seen. I don't like the Storm Surge particularly. That's not a model I'll ever buy. I'm sure there are others. Not a huge fan of homunculi models as well, actually. Did Chaos manipulate the Emperor to commit the Purge of Terror? Possibly. Survived an Orbs bombardment is always on the front line. Yeah, Orbs bombardments get survived. Loken survived one. He was just a captain. It happens. Ow. Alright, how are we doing for time? It's 10 to 10. Okay, we'll wrap this up in about 15 minutes, I think. 15 minutes, and then we'll call it a stream. I always thought the Minotaurs were sons of Perturabo. Could be. Could be Loyalist Iron Warriors. I mean, Marek Drager did some... We don't know what happened to him. So it's possible. I don't think the Great Horn Rat's going to be a thing in 40k now. Space Marines are armies that fight as one. Custodes are one-man armies. Yes, they are. But they're incredibly powerful compared to every other Space Marine. Do you get rulebooks and Black Library books from torrent sites? Or are you posh? I get my books generally as legally as I can, and if I can't get the books, I'll use Lexicana. Then who would use a sword and shield? Wait, back up. Back up. What's that in reference to? I don't know what that's in reference to. Sorry. I've got to scroll too far. So one of the special games you'd like to see brought back? Battlefleet Gothic would be good. Yeah, good suggestion. Do I have a library card to the Black Library? I damn wish. Is the cursed found in the Emperor's attempt to the Imperium's attempt to test the traitor gene seed? Could be. Depends if the gene vaults were open at the time. In the fluff, I just read that the Khan found the Golden Throne. Mortarion found it. I don't know if the Khan did. I know Mortarion found it. Oh, Fracture Law. Okay, sorry, I missed where that started. My bad. Are there loyalist charges who are traitors as their legion? Yes. The Doom Eagles are believed to be Emperor's children. The Karkaradins are believed to be Night Lords, and some say the Blood Ravens are Thousand Sons. There are other thrones out there. There is one, Dark Glass, but that was destroyed. It was sort of twinned with the Golden Throne in some way. What about Epic? I never really got into Epic, and to be fair, you can now play games like Epic in regular 40k. Why is the Bark set called Dark Imperium? Assumedly because it's set the far side of the Cicatrix Maledictum, because the other side of the Cicatrix Maledictum is called the Dark Imperium. Basically. Got to play the Space Hulk video game, very impressive. It looks alright. Red Scorpions. I haven't looked into the Red Scorpions. People keep telling me about the Red Scorpions, but I haven't looked into them, I'm afraid. Silver Skulls believed to be Iron Warriors? I haven't seen any confirmed evidence of that. The prognosticators and their high tendency for psychic doesn't seem very Iron Warrior-y, but could be. Chapters of Wordbearer's stock. Not sure. Not sure. There's none I can think of at the top of my head, anyway. What are that's an attempt at spelling homunculi. It's a pretty damn hard word to spell. The homunculi are the flesh artisans of the Dark Eldar. They basically manipulate the flesh in order to create soldiers, weapons, and other abominations, and they can also resurrect the Dark Eldar from death, assuming they get their bodies to them fast enough. They are absolutely terrifying and hideous, and yeah, they creep me out. Can you recall which book that was from, so I can check that the Lord of Death found the throne? Khan found it. Khan used it, or Jagtai Khan's chief librarian, what's his name? It's Setsuge, or something like that? Powered up Dark Glass in order for the White Scars to travel to Terra, and then it was destroyed by an agent of, I think, the designer, or an enemy of the designer. Is 40k too political? It does a damn good job of avoiding it most of the time. It's got political undertones, but it's not too political, because at the end of the day, there's not much politics going on in it. Why aren't the towers genetically enhancing some of their fire warriors? They should have technology to... What's saying they aren't? We just don't know. They might be. Do you have a date for the next episode of Podcast? Yes. So, about 36 hours? 7 o'clock UK time on Wednesday. The 1st. Or 31st, sorry. A.K.A. Bile's best friends. Yeah, they sort of are. Alfarius is Ivrain? No. Wasn't Fabius Bile trained by the Dark Elder? He got a little bit of training from the homunculi at one point, yes. Is the Emperor doing the work of 2 god-level psychers because of the 2 thrones? No, because Dark Glass was destroyed. There's only 1 now, as far as we're aware of. What do you think of Lord Solar Macaris' basis on Alexander the Great? Well, it was a bit on the nose, but we've seen it before with, like, Creed and Churchill, so fine. Morning or evening? Morning UK time, so 7 AM UK would be 2 AM Eastern, midnight, or, no, 11 Pacific, or towards the evening if you're in Australia. No, I have not seen that fanfiction, and please never send it my way. Never. It's Fabius Bile, that's his name. Who or what is Dark Glass? Dark Glass was the twin of the Golden Throne. It was a device that seemed to be linked to the Golden Throne in some way. What it exactly was is unclear, but it was xenotech, I believe, and it was in some way twinned with the Golden Throne. Do like Fabius Bar's scientist not like other emperors? As a scientist, his work is, whilst terrifying, kinda admirable. Alaskan time? That would be the same as Pacific time, right? So West Coast, so probably about 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the evening. What role would you want if you became a space marine? Librarian every time. Didn't Fabius Bar kidnap a zone through an undersea base and use it to escape the Tyranid sea monster break? He used it to ward off the other Tyranids. Yes, he did. Or one of his clones did anyway. Yeah, it was probably just a web. It is probably a webway gate, but it was in some way twin with the Golden Throne. Will my character be a part of Curse of Knowledge? Shh. Are the mortal realms linked by webway gates? The webway doesn't exist, but maybe. How did Creed outmaneuver Zinj so many times? Because he's a Sarka bloody Creed. Nightmare science is good science. Good science can become nightmare science. Doesn't necessarily mean nightmare science is good science. Nightmare science is good science gone too far. And yes, there is such a thing as science gone too far. Even for me. Right, it's about 10 more minutes and then we'll call it a stream, I think. No point asking me about TTS, I'm not involved with TTS, ask Alpha. Wait, what? Bioshock Alien Love Child? Now you've lost me, sorry. Do you think the Dark Order will take back Comorra or is it lost? It's fine. Comorra's fine. It got damaged when Kane's Gate broke and it got invaded, but it's fine. Comorra lives. Comorra stands. Science and morals normally get in each other's way, same with morals and sense or science, not sure. Yeah, science and the ethics of science are the only thing that holds science back. How can you BS a Psycho Tau in a series about demons and bird-headed tech priests? Just, we'll see. If Remlaze's team can write it, then I'll go with it. Also, I have an entire lore video explaining how my character is psychic. No, Tau and not what happens when science goes too far. That's when good science just keeps progressing. Bad science gone too far is the homunculi. Who are the biggest walking plot holes? Cypher, Ivrain, mainly Ivrain. Is there a character based on Arthurian legends? Not that I'm aware of. Any person you'd love to meet and talk to? Are we talking in real life or in 40k? How many perpetuals do you think are left? Well, all of them, apart from John Grammaticus, he gave up his perpetuality. The undersea base of the Tyranids and Fabius Bar, mix of Alien and Bioshock. Oh, I don't believe it. Oh yeah, was it undersea? Could have been undersea. Yeah, I get what you're going from with that. Would you have a mobile chapter or a dedicated world? Be nice to have somewhere to call home. It would help. Will Bile make Chaos Primaris? If he gets Primaris Gene Seed, oh yes. Real life. Oh. Like, there are so many scientific brains I'd love to pick. And also I'd love to talk to some of the GW guys as well. So many brains. The next podcast, I've said it before, is out on Wednesday, 7 AM UK time. On Wednesday on Remlaze's channel. So turn your notifications on for that. Homunculus is too far, but services aren't okay. Servitors are also maybe okay. What happens when the perpetuals are assimilated by NIDS? We don't know. I think. Ford's Alien is just Space Hulk. When in Space Hulk you can fight back. And if you're a Terminator, not a Guardsman. Can he compensate with sanguineous DNA? No, probably not. Well, maybe. Depends. He doesn't know the same process. They've created 3 new organs for the Primaris. So we don't really know what he's going to do. Hopefully we'll get Chaos Primaris. Whether it's by corruption or bio, we'll find out. But other than sanguineous DNA, all of his Primarch data is a pile of shit. Because Omegon gave him bad data. I wouldn't go that far with the servitor analogy. I really don't know if I would go that far, but then again, maybe I'm just too moral. Okay, 5 minutes. Last few questions or comments, and then we'll wrap this up. Can Fabius grow a Doom of Malin type if he had the genetic coding for it? Yes. My homebrew has a space hulk and orbiting space base. Okay, fair enough. Or what happened if two Tyranid swarms turned on each other? There's no record of that ever happening, but it would probably be a lot of things get eaten. If we could make him, it would just make him more into the Perpetual, maybe. Does Grav feel nerfed? It bloody well should do, because Grav was stupidly powerful as far as I'm aware. Bion needs his own book, so he's got one, Primogenitor. Has any factional race made tech that draws in war creatures the opposite of a Geller field? Well, I don't know about a demon sort of attractor device, but they have been able to contain demons, yes. I mean, what do you think demon weapons are? And demon engines? Beastmen Space Marines? Probably not. Probably too genetically incompatible. Who gives best power bro fist? The Imperial Fist is the obvious answer. I feel like Flamers have been nerfed. Is this the case? We shall see. I think in general Flamers have improved, but for dealing with like 50 infantry at once that are like tightly packed together, it might have made them ever so slightly worse. But in general I think they've improved. Soul Drinkers, don't know the answer I'm afraid. Orcs, should be good. Loyalist Sons of Horus with recombinant gene seed with Dark Angels. Interesting. Feeling a Guard Regiment, why not? Closing statement, good stream, good talk, glad you enjoyed it. Thank you. Is there a way to nudge the Nids to the Eye of Terror? Hopefully they are going to go that way eventually. Pedro Cantor and Captain Cortez are the Power Fist bros. Sure. Didn't even get through my bloody bowl of prawn crackers. Science behind Power Fist, oh god, I don't even want to start. Yeah, those are the graph stats. Strength 5, AP 3, damage 1, unless it's got a good save and it's damage D3. The Dark Angels have a Gene Seed flaw. If they do, then it hasn't been mentioned. Nid Gunline? We'll see. Kieran will almost certainly try it. Maybe. That Vault Realm this is messing about and has a working webway gate. Please tell me you won't let the demon on the craft one. I will do my best. I don't write the script. The Sons of Horus, if they had a genetic flaw in their gene seed, it never showed up at any point where we couldn't just say, oh, it was chaos. Reboot and Calgar are best Brofist. Well, I mean, the Hand of Dominion inspired the Gauntlets of Ultramar, I suppose, so meh. Will they release Mark II armor? Maybe, if they do it for 30k, maybe. Great stream. Sorry for the silly question. It's fine. Some of the questions have been really interesting, and some, while they're not my sort of questions, they are interesting, and it's interesting to get people's opinions in. Right. I think I'm going to call it time. So yeah, that is going to be the stream, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have enjoyed it. And if that hashtag turns up again, I will turn it into a banned word. Fuck all of you. Shut it. Anyway, I do hope you've enjoyed it. As for what I'm going to stream next, I'm going to try and stream on Wednesday after my solid state exam. So probably it'll be a really awkward time for me to do it early. Like I kind of want to do it in like mid-afternoon UK, sort of like 1-2 p.m. But that's not going to suit anybody. So probably not. But we'll see. I'm going to try and stream on Wednesday. I might not put an announcement out for it just because if I have technical issues again, then nobody will know I've had technical issues. So, I do hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Michael for Tactica Imperialis. Good night. Take care. Bye-bye.